Hi, I'm Nunzi and I'm a resin artist. Today I'm going to show you 5 steps that you must check out before you buy materials and tools for your resin art. When it comes to resin art, checking out for the right tools and materials to use is crucial to your success. As a beginner, getting started can be overwhelming. Let's start and dive right in. Step number 1, safety and protection. Before you commence making resin art, make sure you have a well-ventilated room away from children and pets. If you don't have windows and doors opening to the outside, you can look at an air purifier, humidifier, exhaust fan, fans circulating the air around the room, or if you're unsure, check with an expert who can help you with your air quality. So here are the basics for safety, and it's up to you how far you go to protect your health and for those around you. I'm not a health expert, but I have heard of people who are sensitive to the chemicals and they do develop symptoms. An appropriate mask that conforms to your country's standards and is especially made for chemicals, and in particular the fumes and the vapors, is a good place to start. Protective gloves and aprons are essential, and I personally wouldn't be without them. Cured resin will stick and no amount of washing will get it out. So make sure you cover up. Plastic sheets to place on your table, benches or floor are also a good idea, especially if you're working in a confined area and you don't have an outdoor studio or garage. Protect your space and artwork. Silicone mats are a resin artist's best friend. Any spilt silicone will dry and you can just then peel it off. You'll also need some type of covering when curing your resin art. This will prevent particles and dust from falling on your work and spoiling it. Step number 2, clean as you go is a good rule to follow. I learned that one at school and have followed it ever since, even in my kitchen. This helps to prevent problems from occurring and ruining your work, and also helps you to maintain a safe environment. I have baby wipes, isopropyl alcohol, sanitizer, and paper towel on my bench at all times. And if there is a spill, I wipe it immediately. Same with the tools, I also wipe them as soon as I've finished with them. This helps to prevent the buildup that will occur and maintains your tools in good condition. Step number 3. Now let's talk about the essential resin tools that you'll need. Measuring cups, silicone or wooden stir sticks are also important, and silicone molds are a must-have for any resin artist. I also find nail art brushes are really great for just directing the resin around, especially for small pieces. If you're working with UV resin, which is great for beginners as it takes up very little space and less tools, you can make jewelry and other small items with it. But you will need a UV light to cure it. And also clear molds are best. Avoid coloured silicone molds as you might be disappointed with the result. I also use UV resin to make my little round signature pieces that I put on my resin artwork. Have a look. A scale and volumetric cups are essential. These help to get your measurements correct, a fundamental of resin art. These tools not only help you to accurately measure and mix, but they help your creations to turn out perfectly every time. Silicone molds come in various shapes and sizes, and we can become carried away with the array that's out there. I suggest you focus on your direction and start to build your collection slowly. Otherwise, you'll need a very large storage unit to keep them all in. Step number 4, key ingredients. Resins, pigments, resin paste, alcohol inks. These are all essential. The type of epoxy resin you choose will impact your final result. I buy from wholesalers and manufacturers preferably because I get the safety and product data sheets. This way you'll be very informed on how to handle your chemicals and also the curing times. There are all types of epoxy resins for different purposes. Epoxy resin for deep pours, ocean coats, diamond coat to get a hard finish, flexible resin, fast curing resin. There's so many out there, so you need to know what you're trying to achieve. The manufacturers are the best place to start because they'll have all the information there for you. For beginners, I suggest that you start with an all-purpose epoxy resin, as that will suit multiple purposes. And very importantly, follow the manufacturer's instructions for the mixing and curing times. Now, who doesn't love colour? Alcohol inks are fun. They're so dynamic, and you can get all sorts of marbling or translucent effects with it. Creating patterns, never knowing what the final result will be. That's half the fun. Resin pastes are a must-have for the opaque finish when you want a solid, non-translucent colour, while resin liquid pigments are more translucent and they give a more uniform colour throughout. Powder pigments such as mica can add that shimmery effect, and most of these are highly concentrated, so you only need to use a very small amount. And of course, not forgetting sparkles such as gold leaf or glitters, and they're available in very many colours and types. Now for the bits and bobs. If you're making jewellery or you need other pieces to enhance your work, they're also great to have. You can again build your collection as you go, and they can really stir your creative inspiration. And step number 5, curing and finishing. Other useful purchases are a heat gun or kitchen torch to help reduce the bubbles that will rise to the surface of your product. But don't fret, you'll master all these tricks as you're learning and experiencing the world of resin art. Finishing work or creating jewellery, useful tools are a drill and nail files. I find that the nail file is my best friend for taking away sharp edges. Blades are useful as well, but be careful, they're very sharp. The right tools and equipment is essential for your resin art success. Now, don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with your creations. The possibilities are endless, so let your creativity run wild. And before we wrap up, I want to encourage you to have a look at my other videos to learn some techniques and get some inspiration for your next resin art project. And share your beginner's experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.